Welcome to my channel Old Gold Coins. Today videos is one you won't miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. Full long detail information. Liberty in God We Trust 1965 coin US 1 cent. Lincoln Memorial Cent. The 1965 Lincoln Memorial Cent is an important part of American numismatic history, minted during a transitional period in US coinage. This penny features the enduring portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse front, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose iconic depiction of Lincoln had been used since 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the obverse you'll find the inscriptions Liberty to the left of Lincoln, In God We Trust at the top, and the date 1965 to the right. Notably, there is no mint mark on any 1965 penny, regardless of where it was struck, a result of unique historical circumstances. The reverse back of the coin bears the Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Asparo, first introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. This version of the cent continued until 2008. The reverse includes the inscriptions, United States of America at the top and 1 cent at the bottom, with E pluribus unum out of many, 1 inscribed above the memorial. An interesting feature is the tiny representation of Lincoln's statue visible inside the memorial, making this one of the few coins with the same person appearing on both sides. From a composition standpoint, the 1965 Lincoln cent was struck from 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. This was the standard penny composition since 1864 and would remain until 1982, when the U.S. Mint shifted to a primarily zinc coin due to rising copper costs. The 1965 coin was minted in very high numbers, over 1.49 billion pieces, making it very common in circulation. A unique historical aspect of the 1965 penny lies in the Coinage Act of 1965, which led to significant changes in the U.S. monetary system. The act was primarily passed to eliminate silver from dimes and quarters and reduce it in half dollars, due to a coin shortage and rising silver prices. To prevent hoarding and discourage coin collecting during this transition, the U.S. Mint suspended the use of mint marks from 1965 through 1967. Thus, all coins minted during those years lack mint marks, even though they were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. This makes the 1965 penny part of an unusual era in U.S. numismatic history, when coin identification by mint location was temporarily made impossible, although extremely common in circulated condition. Uncirculated examples with full red color, designated road by grading companies, are sought after by collectors. High-grade coins MS65 and above with strong strikes and no contact marks can command modest premiums. Proof coins were not issued for general collectors in 1965, but instead special mint sets SMS were produced. These SMS coins, while not true proofs, have a higher quality finish than regular business strikes. Some 1965 SMS pennies feature brilliant satiny or even cameo-like surfaces and can be of greater interest to numismatists. In terms of errors and varieties, 1965 cents can occasionally show die cracks, struck through grease errors, offset strikes, and double die obverses DDO, though these are not as prevalent as in some other years. Any such anomalies can significantly increase the value of a coin depending on severity and eye appeal. Culturally, the phrases "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" reflect America's historical foundations. "In God We Trust" was adopted officially as the U.S. motto in 1956 and had been appearing on coins since the 1860s. The presence of such phrases on the penny symbolizes America's reverence for faith and freedom. The Lincoln cent, representing one of the nation's most revered presidents, serves as a reminder of unity and liberty, ideals deeply rooted in the American spirit. In conclusion, the 1965 Lincoln Memorial Cent may be ordinary in quantity, but its historical context during a transformative time in U.S. coinage makes it a noteworthy collectible. It's a coin that bridges the pre- and post-mint mark eras, is struck with classic copper composition, and continues to be a point of entry for many new collectors. Whether appreciated for its iconic design, historical significance, or as part of a complete Lincoln cent collection, the 1965 penny holds its place firmly in the tapestry of American numismatics. Would you like YouTube title tags, video description, or hashtags for this coin for your channel, Old Gold Coins? Full long detail information. Liberty in God We Trust 1981 coin US 1 cent. Lincoln Memorial Cent. The 1981 Lincoln Memorial Cent is one of the most commonly circulated U.S. coins, yet it holds remarkable historical, cultural, and collectible value. The obverse front side features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. This design has become one of the longest motifs in American numismatic history. On the obverse, the inscriptions include the word Liberty on the left of Lincoln's portrait and the national motto "In God We Trust" at the top. The date 1981 appears on the right, and under it, you may find a mint mark DS or no mark. denoting the minting facility, Denver, San Francisco or Philadelphia, respectively. The reverse back of the 1981 Lincoln cent features the Lincoln Memorial, which was designed by Frank Gasparro and introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. Within the detail of the memorial, if closely examined, one can see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated in a tribute to the actual statue found in the real-life memorial in Washington, D.C. This makes the coin notable for featuring a U.S. president both on the obverse and subtly on the reverse. The 1981 Lincoln cent was struck in the final years before a major composition change. These coins were still made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. Unlike the post-1982 pennies, which were made from zinc coated in copper plating due to rising metal costs, the average weight of a 1981 penny is 3.11 grams, and it measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. These coins were produced in large numbers. Billions were minted between Philadelphia and Denver, with a smaller specially struck proof version minted in San Francisco bearing the S mint mark. Intended for collectors. From a collector's perspective, the 1981 cent is generally common in circulated condition, but may carry slight premiums in uncirculated or proof form, especially those with strong luster. Full red colored designated road or flawless proof surfaces. Proof coins from 1981 are of particular interest due to the Type 1 and Type 2 varieties seen in the San Francisco proofs. Type 1 features a filled S mint mark, while Type 2 has a clearer, more defined S, the latter being rarer and more desirable among collectors. Errors and varieties also attract attention in this year, such as off-center strikes, double-die obverse DDO varieties where letters and dates may appear doubled or struck through debris anomalies. These errors, depending on their severity and clarity, can fetch high prices among error coin enthusiasts. Culturally, the phrases "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" carry deep meaning in American heritage. Liberty reflects the foundational values of the United States since its independence, and "In God We Trust" became the official motto of the U.S. in 1956, appearing on all coins as a reflection of national identity and belief in divine guidance. In conclusion, while the 1981 Lincoln Memorial cent is not rare, it holds great significance due to its historical legacy, aesthetic continuity, and the composition change that followed in 1982. It represents the final chapter in a copper-dominated era of U.S. penny production and remains a favorite for beginner and seasoned collectors alike. Collectors often seek high-grade examples, particularly mint-state or proof versions, and keep a close eye out for varieties and errors that could enhance the coin's numismatic value. Would you like a video title, hashtags or description for your YouTube channel Old Gold Coins about this coin? Full long detail information. Liberty in God We Trust 1981 U.S. Lincoln Memorial Cent 1 cent coin. The 1981 Lincoln Memorial Cent, inscribed with the phrases "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," is a historic coin in the long-running series of US 1 cent pieces, struck during a period of transition in U.S. minting. The 1981 penny reflects both the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the technological and material changes in American coin production. Designed originally in 1909 by Victor David Brenner, the obverse front of the coin features the right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Famed for preserving the Union during the Civil War and abolishing slavery, his portrait remains one of the most enduring images in American numismatics. At the top of the obverse, the motto "In God We Trust" is boldly displayed, symbolizing the nation's faith and moral compass. To the left of Lincoln is the word "Liberty," representing the core principle upon which the nation was founded. To the right of Lincoln appears the year 1981, and just below it, depending on the minting location, you may find a mint mark, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mark for Philadelphia. These three mints played a key role in the mass production of this coin. The reverse back of the 1981 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the grand structure in Washington, D.C. This design, introduced in 1959 by Frank Gasparro, replaced the original wheat ears reverse and was chosen to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. A small representation of the seated Lincoln statue, located inside the real-life memorial, is visible between the columns if examined closely, making it one of the few US coins with the same individual appearing on both sides. The inscriptions on the reverse include United States of America across the top, E pluribus unum just above the memorial, Latin for out of many, 1 and 1 cent at the bottom. In terms of composition, the 1981 Lincoln cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams. This was the final full year before a significant transition took place in 1982. When the U.S. Mint began producing pennies with a zinc core and copper plating, due to the rising costs of copper. Therefore, 1981 coins represent the last full year of traditional copper Lincoln cents, which many collectors prefer due to their heavier feel and richer tone. The mintages for 1981 were extremely high. Over 12.4 billion pennies were struck across the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation. with hundreds of thousands of proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint. Of particular interest to collectors are the 1981S proof pennies, which come into varieties: Type 1 with a filled S mint mark, and Type 2 with a clearer, more refined S. The Type 2 variety is rarer and thus more valuable. These differences occur due to a change in the mint mark punch used mid-year during proof coin production. While circulated 1981 pennies are typically worth face value, uncirculated and proof coins in high grades, especially with full red road color, can carry modest premiums. Grading plays a critical role in determining value. Coins graded MS65, red or higher by NGC or PCGS can be worth several dollars, with Type 2 proof coins being valued significantly higher, depending on condition and clarity. Error coins from 1981 can also be quite desirable. Some known varieties include off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, cuds, and double die obverses, DDOs. These anomalies occur during the striking process and are usually kept by collectors due to their rarity and uniqueness. Particularly dramatic errors can command high prices, even for a common date coin like this. Culturally and historically, the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," hold deep meaning. Liberty reflects the values the U.S. was founded on, while "In God We Trust," officially adopted as the national motto in 1956, represents the country's spiritual beliefs. Abraham Lincoln himself is remembered for championing both freedom and moral integrity, making the Lincoln Cent a continuing tribute to these ideals. In summary, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial Cent is more than just pocket change. It's a relic of traditional coinage, struck during the closing chapter of the full copper era. Its high mintage makes it easy to find, but collectors seek out proof types, rare errors, and uncirculated examples. The coin also serves as a valuable tool for introducing new collectors to numismatics, while reminding Americans of their historical journey and democratic values. Whether for study, collection, or investment, the 1981 penny continues to occupy a proud place in the history of U.S. coinage. Would you like a YouTube video title, tags, hashtags, or description for this coin for your channel, Old Gold Coins?